All right, guys, so good morning on this happy Sunday here. What we're going to be doing today is working on some active mobility, also a little bit of adductor and hamstring capacity, and some breathing techniques. So the first thing that I'm doing here is a knee blocked loaded stretch. And you're going to be seeing here, the biggest thing that I'm trying to do is maintain a proper rib cage, maintain a proper hip positioning. Don't let the block slip away. Don't let my ankles collapse in. And then what I'm doing here is only going as far as I can actively take myself. So the block makes us very honest in a lot of these different movement patterns where the shins are vertical, they're right over top of the ankle. You either do the pattern the proper way and use the adductors and use the musculature the way it's supposed to be, or you lose the yoga block. So the big thing here that you need to focus when you want to transition is breathing in. And I'm trying to flex my hamstrings and adductors and keep my rib cage braced the whole time I'm moving through this pattern. So you're going to notice here you may get some cramps. You may see that you can't go as far as you normally could in a squat, and that's normal. So next we're going to be moving into, I'd consider it a knee blocked hip car, but you can just use your lacrosse ball, something small, a golf ball, anything to block the calf to the hamstring. And what I'm trying to do here, and I'm not perfectly successful with it just yet because I've been practicing these and trying to get a little better at them. You place the ball between the crook of your calf and your hamstring, and you want to maintain a nice rigid torso and a stacked rib cage without trying to shift into the hip, without trying to go belly down. And you see it's really hard to fight through this positioning here. This is going to be a big one that most people think they have really good hip mobility. Give this a try and you'll start seeing where your actual mobility is. Now, I also like the one that I posted the other day where we're on our beast position, we're on our all fours. That one, you have a little bit more of a limited range of motion, but they're a lot harder to cheat. These movements, you can cheat, you can shift, so you have to be pretty honest with yourself, trying to still internally rotate the opposite femur on the down leg. And when I say internally rotate the femur, I want you to try to actively keep your knee right over top of the center of your foot. Keep your big toe planted into the ground. And also what you're going to try to do here is try to flex the accompanying part of the glute that's right next to the adductor attachment. So most of you people you may not have experienced this before. As you start working through some active ranges of motion and some more hip cars and things like that, understanding where the parts of your adductors are, where the parts of your glutes are, where the parts of your abdominals are, how to posture your hip girdle, where your pelvis should actually be during a lot of your movements. This falls into our proprioceptive work and fine motor tuning. A lot of athletes and a lot of just general population don't do nearly enough of this, and they get a lot of pain primarily because they're entering ranges that they should not be in or they're not stable in. This here is going to determine where you're stable, where you can actively move, and where you can't actively move. All right, guys, have a great morning.